So, to set up this little story, my character, Dulgurn, fallen Azamar sorcerer with a grudge against the gods that cast him out of favor, so he's bent on obtaining lichdom to gain power he feels was robbed from him, found an inauspicious set of playing cards in a dungeon. I rolled a nat 1 on investigation and was unknowingly shuffling them back in our main town hub when asked to describe how I was shuffling the cards. And like an idiot, I said, "I pull out a card from the back and put it on the front." Which was met with a slight laugh from the DM, and I immediately knew what I was dealing with out of character. I end up drawing the star card, thank goodness, but being a magic user after seeing and feeling the effects from the card, Dulgurn knew he had come upon the deck of many things. So, he quickly put the cards away in his bag of holding, and due to being unknowingly signed up for a gladiatorial battle by another PC, Dulgurn sought out a magic shop to prepare for the upcoming battle. We are at level 6 at this point, by the way. So, when the party gets to the shop, Dulgurn asks what some of the most expensive items the shop has. A belt of stone giant strength, and a cloak of the bat, and some other bags of holding and some other trinkets. Dulgurn then begins bartering with the shopkeep. Think the WoW guy with South Park, but wearing a wizard hat and robe. That in exchange for a very attractive female grey dwarf in a metal bikini that was in Dulgurn's bag of holding. How he managed to get this dwarf in there was another story entirely. That the shopkeep would give us a hefty discount on the belt and cloak, he happily agreed. But before Dulgurn was going to hand over the dwarf, he pulled out the deck of cards first. And after a little convincing and a 20 on a persuasion roll, the wizard decided to indulge Dulgurn in his antics. And immediately the wizard was pulled out of existence, leaving only his robe and wizard hat behind. I was told that he drew the donjon card. So, seeing this golden opportunity to get some free magic items, Dulgurn takes the belt and cloak and stuffs them in his bag of holding, and calmly walks out of the store, but not before turning the open sign on the door to closed. So let me start by saying I'm DMing my first campaign after many years as a player. I've been enjoying it. We started with Lost Mines of Palfadare with a group of 6 players and me, the DM, and we play using Roll20. We've enjoyed it so much I started incorporating homebrew content into the campaign, and we have plans of eventually taking this to level 20 if the world doesn't blow up first. Now, on to story. This is regarding the Wyvern Tor quest with the Orc raiding camp. I added some additional enemies, some other things for flair or roleplay, but overall the party spent quite a bit of time trying to decide how best to approach the encounter before deciding just to say fuck it all and go right in. Yes, step into my web. Or so I thought. Battle commences in the very first round of combat, 8 attacks. Not a single one hits, including ones that had flanking bonuses, as the orcs and ogres were able to get into a good positioning on a few party members. As a rule, I do not fudge rolls. I consider myself a true neutral DM. I let things happen as they were meant to happen by the rolls, and by whatever creative roleplay may happen. So this whole encounter happens, and I land a grand total of 2. 2 hits the entire encounter. One of them was a crit that almost downed the cleric, but then every other attack proceeded to miss the cleric that round and was able to heal up the very next turn. So yes, what should have been a challenging encounter turned into a raffle stomp because of terrible rolls. But I guess it evens out because previously what should have been an easy encounter turned into an almost TPK because of rolls. Dildir. Party debates for an hour how to approach a dangerous encounter. Turns out the orcs and ogres were equipped with wet pool noodles and not a threat. 6 PCs, max level.
After 4 years and 3 story arcs, including several epic defeats from the heroes and many heroes' deaths, our heroes finally discovered the lair of Lutherus, the corrupted sun elf that had destroyed their world. It was located in a pocket dimension, protected by dozens of magical wards and traps. The pocket was only accessible from inside a protected ancient city with plenty of its own defenses. In other words, there was no way out. Our heroes finally get through all of the defenses after working for months to deactivate some of the strongest defenses and enlisted the aid of an ancient silver dragon, the leader of a clan of moon elves to which one of our heroes belonged to. They regretted it immediately. The silver dragon turned on them, revealing that he intended to aid Lutherus in his quest to help the dragons of the realm return to their homeworld. As the fight raged, the ethereal forms of 2 ancient golden dragons appeared, previously defeated friends of the villain.
Or was it 3 ancient dragons?
Beyond the party had this. The lair began to fill with quicksand made of necrotic glass shards. Anytime you touched it, it would suck you under in a ball pit from hell, shredding your lungs with necrotic glass.
Strength save DC 20. 4d10s damage for every round in the shards.
A waterfall of sunlight consumed an entire section of the lair, causing a searing heat and blinding light. All but 2 of our heroes are now fighting blind. It quickly became clear that the lair itself was the phylactery, as swarms of wraiths engulfed them.
D6 plus 2 wraiths attacked every PC every round.
The heroes had crafted a special weapon to kill Lutherus, who was known to be a golden dragon. Unfortunately, the weapon was lost when it was embedded in one of the other golden dragons and could not be removed.
So, they lost the only weapon they could use to harm the big bad evil guy.
The tide of the quicksand began to rise faster, ensnaring some of our heroes and dragging them down to certain death. The wraiths speak with voices of dead heroes, lost loved ones, and beloved friends and colleagues that died over the course of the adventure, calling to our heroes, driving them mad.
Wisdom save DC 20, or do what they say.
Just as they had nearly defeated the dragons, the party
Those not in the quicksand
began turning on each other under the thrall of the wraiths. That is when Lutherus arrived.